The Jungle Rescue, a tale of friendship and wit. The jungle was alive with the sounds of rustling leaves, chirping birds, and the distant roar of a mighty waterfall. Towering trees, their canopies thick with emerald leaves, stood like ancient guardians of the wild. The river, a silver ribbon winding through the heart of the jungle, shimmered under the golden sun. This was a land full of beauty and hidden dangers. In this vast, untamed paradise lived 4 best friends: Momo, the quick-witted monkey; Nia, the graceful deer; Eddie, the strong yet gentle elephant; and Kiki, the sharp-eyed parrot. They were different in many ways, but they had one thing in common. They always looked out for one another. One bright morning, as the friends played near the river, Kiki the parrot spotted something strange in a small clearing. "Look! A pile of ripe mangoes!" she squawked excitedly. Momo the monkey, always eager for a treat, leapt from branch to branch, reaching the clearing in no time. "Jackpot!" he grinned, grabbing a mango. Snap! A hidden net shot up from the ground, trapping Momo the monkey in midair. He thrashed and yelled, but the more he struggled, the tighter the net became. "Help! It's a hunter's trap!" Hearing his cry, Nia the deer and Eddie the elephant rushed to the scene while Kiki the parrot circled above. Nia the deer gasped, "Oh no, the hunter must be nearby." Eddie the elephant inspected the net with his wise eyes. "We have to act fast, but if I try to break it with my trunk, Momo might get hurt." Kiki the parrot flapped her wings. "I have a plan. I'll fly to the hunter's camp and cause a distraction. Meanwhile, you two figure out how to break the trap." With that, she took off, vanishing into the trees. Nia the deer, thinking quickly, used her sharp hooves to dig at the ground where the trap's wooden stake was buried. "Eddie, can you push the tree next to the trap? If it falls on the net, it might snap the ropes." Eddie the elephant nodded, braced himself and pushed with all his might. The tree groaned and toppled over, but the net was still too strong. Just then, Kiki the parrot returned, laughing. "The hunter is running in circles. I tricked him by mimicking a human's voice, calling for help." Momo the monkey grinned. "Brilliant. Now, Eddie, pull with all your strength." With one final tug from Eddie's mighty trunk, and Nia the deer's sharp hooves cutting at the net, the ropes gave way, and Momo the monkey tumbled out free at last. Before they could celebrate, Kiki the parrot gave a warning cry. "The hunter is coming back." Thinking fast, they turned the trap against him. Eddie the elephant used his trunk to reset the net, while Nia the deer scattered more mangoes underneath. When the hunter arrived, he reached for the fruit. Snap! The net sprang up, trapping the hunter instead. The animal friends burst into laughter and dashed back into the jungle, their hearts light with victory. That day, they learned that strength, speed, and intelligence were powerful on their own, but together they were unstoppable. And so in the heart of the jungle their friendship grew stronger, their adventures continued, and no danger was ever too great to face, so long as they had each other.